Somebody out there has been scamming college students by leasing an apartment that they don't even own. And now I'm going to tell all of you who's behind it and how it works. So I got a message from a student in New Jersey who said that a number of students have lost money while trying to find an apartment for college. They told me about a guy named Jack Daniel who is a member of the New Jersey Institute of Technology off-campus housing Facebook group. And he made a post about a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment that he wanted to lease at an affordable price because he wanted students to stay inside during the coronavirus outbreak. So I decided to see what this guy had up his sleeve, and I sent him a private message that said, "Hello, is the 2-bed, 2-bath unit still available?" And he wrote back and he said, "Yeah, it is still available. Do you want more info, please?" And I said, "Yes, please." Then he sent me the address with a couple of pictures. He said rent included all utilities, which was $700 with a security deposit of $700, which would be refunded when you are ready to move out of the apartment. So it was going to cost $1,400 up front, but the address wasn't complete. It only had a street number. So I was like, what is the house or the apartment number? I only see the street. So he responds with the full address, which I immediately threw into Google. And that's when I see that very apartment on Apartment Guide being listed by someone named Vermella Harrison. So if it's owned by Vermella, who's Jack Daniel? And why is Jack telling me that it's only $700 a month when the listing is for $3,260? I mean, even a studio apartment is over $1,700. So I wrote Jack back and I said, why is it so cheap? The website is showing it being $1,755 a month. And he says I have my own unit in the apartment complex, and I put up my own unit for this price. I decided to make min cheap for students because I also have other apartments. Well, what a nice guy. Except not really, because he's cheating students out of money by making them think that they're getting a nice apartment for only $700. So I copy the link to the Apartment Guide listing and I take it over to Grabify, where I create a redirect URL and then I send it to him asking if this is the same complex. And he's dumb enough to click on my link, telling me everything that I need to know about this guy. He's using an iPhone 11 Pro Max and his IP address is registering in... He says, yes, to secure the spot you have to sign the lease contract and make the deposit. Once you have done that, a reservation letter will be sent to you showing the spot has been secured. So then he tells me to contact him on WhatsApp, which I do. And then he asks me to fill out a lease agreement. So I fill it out and I say that my name is Ben Dover. Do you get it? Ben Dover? So then I just put in a bunch of bogus info and I send it to him, and like an hour later he sends me a contract to sign. And it's clear that he's just copied and pasted a standard lease agreement from Google and changed the dates and the names and the prices. But that's when I noticed that he was trying to pull a fast one on me by listing the rent for $1,400 a month. The jerk told me $700. I'm not paying this. I said, I thought you said rent was $700. This says $1,400. Yeah, you said you want to rent 2 bedrooms, sir. That's what was stated in the lease info that you provided. And I said, but you said a 2-bedroom apartment would cost $700. No, I was talking about rent per room, sir. I guess you got it wrong, sir. A room and a bathroom is $1,400 total. Who does this guy think that he is? I said, what? No, you said you had a 2-bedroom apartment for $700. I can't afford $1,400. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I guess you got it wrong, but don't worry, it's all right. I admit it's my fault. You're darn right it's your fault. You can't just go around quoting a certain price to tenants and then doubling it when it's time to close. So I made him go back and update the contract. Now, why am I making him redo a contract when I know that it's a scam? Well, because if I can take away 1 hour of his life, then that's 1 less hour that he'll have to spend ripping someone else off. And while we wait for that new contract to come, let me just tell you that you need to be thinking about your privacy online, and you should be using a VPN like Surfshark VPN. It's the VPN that I use and trust and always have on when I'm using public Wi-Fi or when I'm interacting with suspicious folks like this dude. I mean, look what kind of info I was able to pull with a single click. You should know that there are people and businesses doing this all the time to you, so you need to keep your online activity private and start using a VPN. And it's not just security that makes a VPN cool, it's the ability to access sites that your country may be censoring or blocking. It's the ability to find deals and save money. price discrimination is real, and you'll be surprised to know how prices differ depending on where you are in the world. So why don't you just give it a try and go to surfshark.deal/pleasantgreen for an 83% discount and 1 additional month for free. Okay, so the new contract finally comes through and everything looks fine. He says, go through it so we can proceed. If you want me to call you, I can. And I was like, oh really? Yeah, I have some questions. Why don't you give me a call?
Is this Jack?
Yes, this is Jack Daniel.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, so I was just wondering, is this a year lease or a 6-month lease, or is it just a month-to-month lease, or how does it work?
No, the lease is flexible. You can have it for as long as you want.
Call me crazy, but this does not sound like the guy in the picture.
I'm coming for school. I'm not too familiar with the area. Can you tell me a little bit about the area? Like, are there like places to eat or grocery stores nearby? Can you?
Yes. We have bus stations and train stations nearby. We have grocery stores. We have Walmart stores.
How far?
And there are securities in the area as well.
How far is the Walmart?
Oh, the Walmart is just a few minutes walk from the apartment.
Actually, according to Google Maps, it's about a 39-minute walk, but okay.
Once you've secured the spot and you're ready to move in, the keys can either be mailed to you or my janitor will come meet you wherever you want and hand over the keys to you and also the password to the internet.
What's the janitor's name?
Oh, my janitor's name is Donald Robert.
What's his name?
Donald.
Donut?
Yes.
His name's Donut?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. So what do you need next from me?
Once you make the deposit, I'll take the hard soft market on Facebook, and I can secure the spot for you. That's not a problem.
Okay. And how do I secure the spot?
By making the deposit through PayPal, Zelle, or Cash App.
Okay. So you're gonna send me that information?
Yes. Which one do you need?
PayPal. It would be easiest.
Okay. I'll send it to you right away.
Okay.
So once you make the deposit, you can send me the confirmation.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
So he sends me the PayPal information for some guy named Farouk, who he says is his accountant. And he asked me to send him a screenshot once I've sent the $1,400. And at this point, I think to myself, I'm going to play their own trick on them, and I'm going to make them think that I have paid them. So I open up Photoshop and I create a receipt that says I just paid Farouk $1,400. Then I send it to him, and he says, okay, got it, sir. We'll let him know if he received it. And I'm sure he was thrilled, thinking that he had just gotten someone to fall for his scam. But I want my keys to my new apartment, so I asked for the contact info for the janitor, and he says the janitor will contact me soon, but he starts to get worried that he isn't seeing his money. And I'm getting mad because I want my keys. And he says, you sure you have been debited, sir? And I say, yes, I sent you the screenshot. And he says he has yet to receive it, sir. And this goes on for like half an hour, and he's clearly getting agitated, and then he eventually starts calling me. So I answer and I try to calm him down.
Okay, what about the payment?
It'll come through.
Oh, you can cancel the payment and resend it again.
Why should I cancel?
Because they are yet to receive the payment.
Maybe it's an issue with your bank.
That if you cancel it.
Who's your bank? Can I ask you who you bank with? Could you tell me who your bank is?
Akron Bank.
Which bank?
Akron's Bank.
Spell that. I've never heard of that.
ACORNS.
Oh, Acorns. Do they have that in Lagos, Nigeria? Because isn't that where you're from?
No.
Are you sure you're not from Lagos, Nigeria?
Why would I be from Lagos, Nigeria? What are you talking about?
Because I traced your IP address and it says you're in Lagos, Nigeria.
No, No, I'm not from Lagos, Nigeria. Why would I be in Lagos, Nigeria? What are you trying to talk about?
Because you were born there? You live there? I don't know. You tell me.
I wasn't born in Lagos, Nigeria. I don't live there. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, you're there right now.
I'm not there right now.
Yeah, you are. I'm tracing your IP address right now, and it says you're in Lagos, Nigeria.
I'm not in Lagos, Nigeria.
Couldn't you just send me a picture to prove it?
Picture of what?
Here, let's do a video call right now.
And that's when he blocks me on WhatsApp and deletes his Facebook profile. So let the story of Jack Daniel be a lesson to you. If you want to get an apartment, you should probably just be safe and pay the landlord in person. Or at least make sure they are who they say they are. So sorry to ruin your future sales, Farouk, but maybe you can try to use your smarts to do something more honest instead.